This video was so depressing that I teared up after watching it. Life after college, a 28-year-old with a normal job. Head to my 9 to 5 employee benefits. Take lunch around 11. Give Benny his lunch snack. Eat leftover Jersey Mike's. Like, this motherfucker does not need to be in the workplace, okay? He can very clearly work from home, okay? This is fake. He has a house. Yeah, what I don't understand is how this 28-year-old is, like, inside of a house. I just don't understand that at all. I don't know how that happened. Like, I thought in order to be a 28-year-old with a house, you have to literally sell your soul to the fucking devil and basically operate like a monkey in a cage to 30,000 people who ridicule you on a regular basis online. And then that's like kind of the only way that you could do it. Or you just have like unique talent and you're in the right place in the right time and you make it big in some other industry, in entertainment or in sports. But regardless, this motherfucker should work from home. It's crazy. Was it worth it to sell your soul? Bro spoke from experience. Yes, I did. Why is this depressing? I mean, there's depressing music on it, but this is like... This is only depressing if you are literally a fucking full-blown socialist and you recognize that, like, this existence is, like... This existence is ultimately for naught. For some fucking faceless dude who will never see you, who will never care about you to make money off of your labor. When you add that into the equation, you recognize the banality of existence and it, you know, puts you into this, like, existential angst. If you're not... This guy has a house, okay, which is crazy at the age of 28, has a beautiful dog that he plays with in the middle of the day, which is a benefit that many are not allowed to have. And then he goes to the gym. He has great work hours. He has one of those homes that's like recently renovated too. Dinner time, Daya flatbread with a Michelob Ultra. Do you train your dog daily? Brother, my dog is a puppy. Every moment is training. Of course I train my dog daily. Literally his content, what the fuck? I want to inspire people? Bro, you inspire people to fucking off themselves, I think. I don't know why it just comes across so depressing. Like, his life is perfectly fine, but with that music, it basically... Like, I can't tell. He's like... He's giving fucking weird signals. He's giving me mixed signals. Like, he's in great shape. He's in great shape. He has, like, seemingly a decent job. He just looks so sad. I think that's what it is. He just looks like his face never changes. Said average Dallas resident, and why are you right? He seems dead inside. There's no light behind those eyes. Okay, so... Here's my analysis of the situation. In a weird way, as a 28-year-old life after college guy, his life is pretty fucking sweet. He has a house, he has a beautiful dog, and he has decent work hours. Okay? But even then, he is, you know, he's sad. It seems like he's sad. This looks very depressing, despite the fact that everything is supposed to signal to you that he has a healthy life. I have a rigid work structure as well. The only reason why I guess different strokes for different folks. People will probably look at my work structure and go, dude, you're rich. You have literally all the freedom on the world. And you spend all of your time like a caged monkey in a zoo trying to entertain people and give them the news. What the fuck is wrong with you? Which they would be right. The difference is I do not have as much alienation from my labor as he does. Okay? I am in control of my life, whereas he technically is not. The fact that I even have the freedom to be able to drop everything on a dime and do whatever the fuck I want to do is tremendous. That feeling is a big burden lifted from my shoulders. I don't have to feel the financial burden. Okay? I don't feel the financial struggles that I once felt, which again does wonders for your psyche, does wonders for your mental health, right? I've talked about this a lot in the past. It's like the anxieties that I felt when I had a regular job, even though I was working in a startup, in a news media company, the anxieties that I felt, the Sunday blues and whatnot, all of that came from the fact that I just did not have that level of freedom that I have. Okay, with the monthly target hours, yes, this is the first time where I felt the stress and felt like streaming can sometimes be a burden. And it's actually a weird feeling to have. Before, my monthly target hours were even higher. However, despite the fact that they were higher, I didn't even think about it because I was always hitting them. Now that I have more obligations, now that I have more obligations, now that I have more stuff going on in my life, now that I have more, like being a homeowner and like I have more responsibilities and whatnot, it basically makes it a little bit harder. And it feels a little bit more like a job. It's still not the worst. You know what I mean? It's not the worst. And I try to gamify every part of that, even all of my contractual obligations, like the top of the hour ad break. You know what I mean? Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break, which is a contractual obligation. But I have turned that into a game for myself by fucking sneaking it on you and just serving it to you. Wasn't the response to alienation to do labor that makes you feel alive? That is exactly what I was going to say. Before I forget, thank you for bringing me back to the main point that I was going to make. Other than the freedom that I have to do whatever the fuck I want, technically, and the financial freedom to be able to do so, the main reason why I, despite sometimes behaving like a trapped animal in a zoo, feel so much better with significantly less emotional distress, despite the fact that I put longer hours into my labor now than I did before, is because I get a tremendous amount of fulfillment from it. This is very emotionally rewarding for me. Anytime I meet somebody outside in the real world, they say, hey man, you really changed my life. You really changed my views. And, that makes me I'm very grateful for that. Anytime that happens, it's great. For those of you saying also it's not as hard, yes, there are plenty of benefits that come along with just fucking looking at YouTube videos as a job. But there's also a tremendous amount of negative sides to this line of work that many cannot even comprehend. Let's be fucking real. Okay? Yes, it's very different. But I already described the most cumbersome aspects of working for someone else. Rather than working for yourself. The most cumbersome, the most burden, the biggest burden is like not having any autonomy in your life. I too would be emotionally fulfilled if I made millions. That's actually very wrong. Money has zero aspect in why I feel emotionally fulfilled. If it was for the money, I would take the least amount of fucking hours and I would literally just not stream that much. I would be perfectly fine streaming much less, okay? I would be perfectly fine streaming much, much less and still make a shitload of money. The reason why I stream much more is because I enjoy it. I get emotional fulfillment out of what I do. But the negative aspects of this, of course, are oftentimes not something that I show you deliberately, but there's plenty of negative sides to it as well. And let me tell you why you're wrong about the millions thing. Out of my group of friends from college, I'm not the only one who has made a lot of money. Some of my best friends that I have known for years and years have made millions of dollars working in finance, for example. And let me tell you, that shit is gruesome. Okay? You went to Rutgers, bro. It doesn't matter. I don't think I'd say you're rich and perform like a monkey. I'd say you're rich and work at doing an easy job that's fun, live in a mansion, travel the world, live in LA and on. Those aren't the reasons why I feel happy. Happiness doesn't come from material possessions. Happiness doesn't come from that. These are the things that like can make you feel better for a brief moment. But true happiness does not come from things like that. This is not the Andrew Tate broadcast, okay? I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I got a Bugatti and it's actually really nice. And I travel the fucking world and I got ladies in my DMs telling me they want to fucking suck me into oblivion. That's not what like actual happiness comes from. Now, I'm not also the type of person that will say money can't buy you happiness. Okay? Money doesn't give you happiness, but money isn't everything, but not having it is. Okay? That's it. Another subject that I've talked about a million times over. Once you get to a certain point of financial success, it's diminishing returns. There are studies on this. We've talked about this already. I think it's like last time the study was conducted in Los Angeles, in like the greater Los Angeles area, I believe it was like $80,000 to $100,000. After that, it's diminishing returns to your happiness. There has never been an association with like more money equals more happiness. It's just the level that you need to get to where you are financially comfortable. Okay? For me, it is expensive to be poor. For me, I think that point was basically when I never had to think about an Uber surge pricing. It seems really stupid now thinking about it, but I think that was the point where I was like, oh, I'm financially comfortable now. Rich people lie and say, oh, money isn't everything, money isn't everything. Look, no, money is everything if you don't have it. Okay? Money isn't everything if you don't have it, because to be poor is very expensive. But at least there's plenty of empirical evidence to suggest this, to prove this, basically. After a certain point of financial success, it doesn't offer you any additional happiness. It's mostly to lift your burdens, lift your financial burdens, lift all of the issues that you feel, because like being broke is like a fucking weight on your shoulders at every given moment, non-fucking stop. Every aspect of your life immediately becomes transactional. You got to think about like, can I buy this? Can I not buy this? Oh, I want to buy this thing, but I can't really buy that because it's going to, I'm going to have to do some belt tightening in other aspects. Okay? I'm going to be in the red at the end of the month. These are certain things that like a wealthy person never has to think about. So those are major fucking burdens that have been lifted. You know what I mean? That's a huge, huge, huge deal. But once you get to a certain point and you don't have to fucking think about any of that shit, yeah, it'll make you feel good if you buy something expensive. I've done it, certainly. You guys know I've been canceled for it. For a brief moment, of course. But it's a fleeting thing. It's not going to fucking make you happy. Don't be ridiculous. The real reason why this guy, in my opinion, is sad is not because he fucking has like a rigid work structure. The real reason why this guy comes across as very sad is because he's working for someone else. His hours and most of the time that he spends in his adult life is being controlled by someone else. Someone else that he will never speak to. Okay? Machinations that he has no say over. That is really fucking sad. That's why, despite the fact that he has a nice house, like a beautiful house, and a decent fucking regimen where he works out, and pretty good 9 to 5, like an actual 9 to 5 where he gets to leave and go home in the middle of the day, despite all of that, he just looks still very, very fucking sad. I'm off for a large streamer who's a multi-millionaire, and just the other day she was lamenting about how lonely life gets and how she has trouble making friends and stuff. Honestly, it sounded awful. She talks about it quite often lately, and it looks so sad when she does. Yeah, because streaming is like kind of a miserable space for the most part. I have been very fortunate to have a lot of great friends that I consider like lifelong friends from this industry, but most of what keeps me fucking grounded is not like the friendships that I've cultivated in the streaming space. Most of what keeps me grounded is my normie friends, okay? My family, people that do not give a fuck about whether I'm a streamer or not. You know what I mean? People that have no material interest in my financial success. People that are not tied to me in some way. People that don't have any expectations from me. That is huge. That's why I think, despite all of the other negative aspects of streaming, that I, like I said, don't talk about too much, it's still, I still feel, very fulfilled and very happy and very grounded in many respects.